There's definitely a diverse breadth of challenges that immigrants face in Arkansas today. Obviously, our undocumented immigrants that are here, it's at a harsher degree. I think the challenge is because of the realities of living in the shadows, questions of where to go for basic services, who to turn to for different circumstances.
The barriers today are so much more difficult, I think, to discern unless you're kind of living through those barriers, because they're not as overt as they used to be. When I ran for Congress, for example, nobody was going to say to me I couldn't run. But there would be those private conversations about, well, you know, you're not going to get elected because you're black.
My son, he's 12 years old, and I named him Abdullah, which is after my dad's name. And I remember a person that I had a lot of respect for saying to me, "Why don't you name him something else?" And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, because, you know, he'll fit in better."
Arguably the most pronounced barrier that exists for LGBT Arkansans is for kids who identify as gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender, is that we know that the educational experience in which those kids have is one in which that can be very brutal for them, either psychologically or physically. Over the last handful of years, you know, Just Communities has really begun to put issues related to LGBT Arkansans front and center in its mission. And the mission of it at JCA on one level has not changed at all since it was founded as NCCJ back in the 1960s, and that it is about building bridges in our community, helping folks who are of different groups understand one another, and create a community in which everyone has an opportunity to be all they can be.
I think diversity education is important for a number of reasons. First of all, one only has to look at the demographics of our country and see that we are changing significantly. Not only that, but you're seeing more and more women in the workplace, you're seeing more opportunities for people, but there still seems to be barriers for certain gender, racial, and others that are out there that seem, even though we're a very diverse community and country, these barriers still have not been broken through completely.
And JCA, I think, is really good about raising those kind of issues. So great and so respectful about raising the issues of race and gender identity that a lot of people just don't want to deal with. And you know, I see JCA as being an organization that has built up the credibility to approach these issues, and people know it's coming from a good place of seeking resolution.
When it's no longer just a stereotype, when it's an actual tangible person that's living a real life, that's your real neighbor, that their kids are going to school with your kids, then that's when you really see a change in attitude and growth and understanding.
When I first came to the United States, the term melting pot was a very good term to be used that I was fond of, and I kept using it for a long time. Till about a week ago, my daughter changed my perspective on it. And she said, "We're more like a salad bowl. There's the tomato, there's the cucumber, there's the lettuce, but you mix them together and they have a wonderful flavor. We can keep our identity, but be part of that salad bowl, if you will, without having all to be the same." And Just Communities, that I feel that is the goal, to bring us all together to create justice and inclusion for everyone.